Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, here in front of the Sigmascape in the Ethereal Rift of Omegas. Just it. Time to enter the Sigmascape? Before you cross the threshold, we should take a moment to discuss where we stand. That is the test world you need to conquer, the Sigmascape. Is that the mask or a face? The castle was certainly surprised, but this is verging on disturbing. And we currently have no idea what it might signify. My first instinct is to dive straight into our analysis. The problem being that without a referencing point within the Sigmascape to start from, we have no way of knowing if we're even analyzing the correct data, which means you just have to go in blind. Hardly the best way to enter into a fight, but needs must and all that. Are you up for the challenge? I am. Can I ask you to join her, Alpha? You seem to be fine with. We seem to be fine out here, but Serenia will need your authorization if she's to do battle inside the test world. Keep your wits about you, Savior. Your next opponent could be almost anything. Quack, quack. Alpha appears eager to proceed. You may enter Sigmascape version 1.0 whenever you're ready. Sigmascape version 1.0. It's Doom Train. From Final Fantasy VI, right? Serenia, we've located the correct data. Your opponent appears to be a train. Here it comes. That light. The data set has external purification properties. too. Okay. And phone back. What? I guess we should have been caught. Not sure I got all the mechanics, but yeah, that was a Phantom train. I have full inventory actually. Oh man, okay. Something to take care of. Traveler from afar. Thank you for Doma. Because in Final Fantasy VI, the Phantom Train carries the dead to their next step. Thank the gods you're fast on your feet. When I first saw you'd be facing a train of all things, I assumed I was hallucinating. But with that oddness behind us, we can be fully certain we have the right set of data for the Sigmascape. From what we've been able to determine, it's a recreation of a devastated world. Unfortunately, we have not found any clues as to its origin. We came across several familiar terms, Doma included, but the arc of history is inconsistent with our own. Given that Omega draws from realms which could be fictional or even other dimensional, we can only guess at the source upon which the Sigmascape is based. But if it was fictional, it seems safe to assume that the author had a bad experience with a train. Okay, what's next? I expect you're still recovering from your last fight, but we should be probably go over the details of your next opponent all the same. According to our research, you will be pitted against a foe known as Shadarnok. Not a train this time, but some man of animated painting. To be perfectly clear, the name refers more to the evil spirit that's taken up residence within the picture. But the picture part will be key to our strategy. To that end, Nero has thrown together a little something I thought might be useful. Thrown together, he says. Do you know how difficult it was to translate your abstract fancy into an actual tool with practical applications? What you demanded was nothing less than a miracle, and a miracle I have delivered. I seem to recall you insisting on constructing it yourself. Still, credit where credit's due. Well done. History will appreciate my genius. To you, I present the fruits of my labor, the Chocobo brush. I won't confuse you by trying to explain how it works, but suffice it to say that I have adapted the tool to combat the peculiar nature of your rival. Put simply, you will be able to directly influence the space around you by painting pictures. Naturally, this process will require paint. As for the color, subject and efficacy of your masterpieces, well, that shall depend entirely upon your own artistic sense. Now back to you, Garland. Do you notice the absence of a steaming cup in my hand? If you truly valued the efforts of your colleagues, you might consider filling the bloody kettle from time to time. Or is that another task his lordship the chief can't accomplish without the help of his subordinates? Now listen here, Nero. I apologize for the damn kettle, but this has nothing to do with my upbringing. Alpha? Next to the kettle is one of Alpha's cards, its face illustrated with a depiction of spring water. Alpha appears keen to begin the next encounter. You may enter Sigmascape version 2.0 whenever you're ready. Finally. Ah, what a splendid atelier. Look around you, hero. Plenty of things with which to dip a brush. And finally I found a group. That took a while. Oh, now I get it. So whatever I paint becomes reality, yeah? Did I get that right? I have to look what's on the picture and choose the proper counter. Ah, this was a flighter. Of course. This was a flying apparatus. Ah, someday I'll get used to it. Sure. And that... hide behind it, I guess? I'm having a lag. Or disconnect, even better. Okay, Sigmascape 2. Third time's the charm. First time at a disconnect, second time I forgot to record. Third time, here we are. Ah, what a splendid atelier. Look around you. we have our paintbrush. And there's our boss. Session is the fire painting. So we paint on the water ravine here and get the fire resistance. And the painting is let go, back to the middle. Session for stone. Where we get a little airship. Okay. Run. Release back to the middle. Possession water. Someone has become a stone. Or summon a stone so you can hide from the wave. Wind. Come. Say it. Ah, there was one. Let's see. Cuddle marker. Okay, Nero. Sit. Welcome back, Serenia. I was on the verge of my stool watching you attempt to paint while fighting, but you soon seemed to get the hang of it. Let's just assume you're right. I'm glad our makeshift solution worked as intended. Our makeshift solution worked as intended because I made it work. Painting is easy as it's intending. I feel I should remind you, however, that the brush was very specifically designed with that area and that foe in mind. Against all else, it will avail you precisely as well as any other brush. One moment. This is Garland. That's great news. And oh, they did they? Understood. We'll meet them out there. It was Jesse. Apparently Biggs and Wedge considered themselves well enough to pay us a visit. They're on their way to the yarn. Fancy a brief jaunt to the surface? No thank you. I have data to analyze. Fine. Just the three of us then. Look at the two of you up and about already. You gave us quite a scare. Chief, Serenia, and Alpha 2. We didn't mean to drag you all the way from your work. Nonsense. After all you've been through, how could we not come running? Speaking of which, should you even be walking? But Kyrogen will probably want to have words with us later, but we couldn't just lie back and let you brave a rift on your own. Do you even have enough hands for that much work? Who's taking care of all the little jobs? Ah yes, the little jobs. It does seem to have spoiled me. I only recently learned that the kettle does not in fact fill itself. But we're muddling along somehow. Sonia has been a pillar of strength as always. Alpha has proven to be a stalwart companion, and Nero has been invaluable and insufferable in equal measure. As for the test subjects themselves, they're certainly formidable, but Omega's experiment hasn't broken us yet. So go home, heal, and don't come back until you're fully recovered. Let's go to hear that everything is going well, but you call us the moment anything goes wrong. We'll be out here in a wink, even if you have to crawl. Listen to me, Alpha. That uniform you're wearing makes you an official employee of Garland Ironworks. That means you can call on us whenever you're in trouble, and that we can call on you. It means you're not alone. Biggs and I have to go away for a while, so I want you to look out for Serenia and the Chief for us, alright? Oh, before I forget, we brought you something to put a spring in your step. You can't fight Omega's creations on the field rations alone. Okay. Now, what have we... This next one seems strong, but exhibits no other notable trait. How dull. The true challenge is its fourth opponent. But if I can find the pattern hidden in the chaos, the knowledge and reason will prevail. For even the most random actions are products of an underlying logic. One has but to isolate the behavioral triggers. tastes like salt water. Why would... I need to take a closer look at that card. Alpha Group shows signs of recovering from recent trauma, initiating action to maintain desirable stress levels. I think that wonderful point is perfect to end this episode. Until next time, when I think we continue with Omega. I am Mace, and don't get lost.